Picture this. I'm grilling burgers in my backyard, enjoying a quiet evening. Then Karen, the HOA president, calls 911, claiming I'm causing a dangerous disturbance and need to be arrested. Framing me with an emergency call? That's not just petty. It's a full-blown declaration of war. Guess who ended up in cuffs when I proved her report was a level 1 false alarm? Karen thought she could smear my name and strut off smug. She didn't know she'd picked a fight with the wrong guy. I didn't just clear my name. I turned her lie into a trap that got her arrested for her own crime. You're not going to believe how this played out. Karen figured she could weaponize 911 and slip away clean. She had no clue I'd flip her scheme, rally the block, and make her the criminal in her own story. This tale starts with a vicious call, twists through a sharp counter, and land with a victory so sweet you'll be cheering. Stick around, because Karen's about to choke on the justice she tried to dodge. Let's set you down in Willow Creek, a quiet Illinois suburb where ancient sycamores shade tidy lawns. Kids tas frisbees till dusk. Porches hum with stories older than the mailboxes. I'm a retired electrical engineer, 65, more at home fixing circuits than shaking hands at HOA potlucks. My wife passed a few years back. Her love for simple evenings was my guide, her laugh my light. I'd spend my nights grilling in the backyard, Scout, my old mutt, napping by the fire pit. It wasn't just a routine. It was my peace, a space where I'd sip a beer, flip burgers, and feel her close. Every sizzle was her warmth. Every moment was my pride, a sanctuary I'd guard with my life. Willow Creek wasn't all backyard vibes. New money rolled in. McMansions sprouted like weeds. Their gates gleamed brighter than their souls. Enter Karen, HOA president, the self-crowned queen of Willow Creek Estates. She ruled with a clipboard sharper than her perm. She didn't manage. She crushed. Her bylaws choked anything free. Wrong mailbox color? A $300 fine. Too loud crickets? Warning letter. Clara, my neighbor, got a $400 hit for a tacky bird bath. It had a turtle, big whoop. Karen's patrols were clockwork. Her SUV prowled at dawn. Her clipboard snapped like a trap, sniffing out joy like a bloodhound on a scent. Willow Creek Estates wasn't a community. It was her empire. Neon notices were her lash. Her smug grin was a wall nobody dared climb. My backyard was her obsession. Used legally on my lot, zone free, it hummed. No HOA rule touched it. I kept low. Grilling days, tinkering nights, no fuss. Folks knew me as the burger guy, not a rebel. I liked flipping patties, my wife's spirit in the smoke. Clara brought buns, loving the vibe, griping Karen's fines. Her mailbox took a $350 hit for chipped green. Jamal, the local carpenter, cursed a $450 smoke fine. His grill was poetry. Rosa, whose roses bloomed like a sunset, paid $500 for excessive petals. Petals? I'd chuckle, knowing my permits outranked Karen's pen. I'd wired grids tougher than her. A clipboard was a toy, but Karen's eyes zeroed in on my backyard. She called it rowdy once. Her sneer cut deeper than a blade. Rowdy? It was my haven, my heart. I'd defend it with every wire in my soul. She sent warnings. Noise violation. Public disturbance. I fired back with permits, council nods, all clean. Karen didn't care. Her notices stacked up. Each was a jab, dare me to swing. I filed them. Engineers calm holding. Trace the fault, don't spark. But her complaints grew nastier. Her threats sharpened, muttering cops and worse. To her, I wasn't a neighbor. I was a holdout. My backyard, my wife's memory, was her target. One she'd ruined till it was gone. Karen's war kicked off with a jolt. A neon notice was taped to my fence. Her HOA seal glared like a summons. She didn't knock. She barged, standing in my yard like she owned my grill. Your parties are a danger, she said, flipping her clipboard with a nail sharp as her smirk. I'm calling 911. Danger? My burgers were legal. Zone free since I moved in, quieter than her yappy mutt. I leaned on a chair, sipping coffee, and slid my paperwork over. City stamped, bulletproof. Not your yard, Karen, I said, voice flat as a breaker box. It's my home. Her lips twitched. Her eyes glinted like a con, spotting a mark. Yards don't run Willow Creek, she purred, venom in her latte-sipping grin. Rules do. Rules bite. Bite? That wasn't a chat. It was a frame-up. I peeled the notice. Scout's growl matched my gut. I figured she'd back off. No chance. By week's end, fines piled. Printed, official, absurd. Public nuisance, $500 fine. Noise hazard, $400. Community threat, $600. Threat? My grilling was calmer than her holiday inflatables. I filed them, instincts humming. Law of default, don't spark. But Karen wasn't tossing darts. She was rigging a bust. She crashed my evening cookout, Smoke curled. Her SUV parked like a roadblock. Clara nibbled a burger nearby. Jamal fixed a gate. Rosa watered her roses. Karen ignored them, zeroing on me. Her clipboard tapped like a gavel. "Your chaos is tanking our safety," she said, voice dripping scorn. "Cops are coming." Chaos? My patties were my pride, not her lies. I flipped a burger, cool as a fuse. "Permits are clean, Karen. You've got no shot." Her grin turned icy. She wasn't debating. She was accusing. Clara whispered, "She's poison." Jamal nodded. "Find my grill, $450 for smoke." Smoke? Karen's eyes dare me to swing. Then it hit. A Thursday, siren screamed. Cops swarmed. Karen's 911 call, claiming I was hosting a riot and endangering lives. My blood boiled. Engineers don't short. We rewire. She thought she'd won, but her call had just tripped a switch she couldn't cut. Karen's frame-up didn't just sting. It scorched my soul. Calling 911 with a fake emergency wasn't a jab. It was a full-on conspiracy, targeting my haven like it was a war zone. The fines didn't pile. They choked. Each was a brasher lie. Reckless endangerment, $1 fine. Endangerment? I grilled burgers, not bombs. Public disorder, $800. My smoke was sweeter than her lies. Then came community hazard, $1,200, claiming I tank curb appeal. Appeal? Neighbors ate my food, not her venom. I locked them in my safe, instinct screaming. Build a circuit, don't fry. But Karen wasn't playing. She was framing. My backyard was her prey. I sniffed a scam. Years wiring systems taught me to spot shorts. I checked my lot. Permits were tight, no violations. But signs grew. Clara caught Ted, Karen's lackey, scope in my yard. Said it's for a survey. She hissed. But he had a phone. Phone? Jamal saw Barb with a contractor, Karen's inspector. Parking a camera. Inspector? More like a snitch. I checked my grill. Strange marks, enough to flag. Rosa tipped me. Karen's at the diner, crowing. Rioters busted, town's clean. Clean? This wasn't a fine. It was sabotage. My backyard, my heart, my fight was her target. That Thursday, I faced the cops. They saw my grill, a few chairs, and left, muttering about false alarms. Rage roared, but I thought of my wife. Shine, don't curse. I hit the county code. Level 1 false 911 calls were felonies. HOA fines void. Inspiration struck. Why clear my name quietly when I could trap her? Big? Iduida bigar grites. I set up hidden cameras. A neighborhood watch, open to all, to catch her lies in my yard, ready to flip her game. I moved quiet. Cameras planted, files pulled. Emma, my lawyer pal, was on speed dial. Karen's call was flimsy. HOA couldn't trump law. State code backed me. I'd record first, expose later, letting her strut into my trap. Clara's tip came through. Karen's HOA meeting, her stage to gloat. I lined up footage, Emma's notes, Jamal's photos. Ted's text read, 911 set, boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen thought she'd won. Her perm was a crown. I was the spark. This wasn't a fight. It was a sting, and her block was about to roar. Willow Creek woke to fury. Neighbors buzzed. My 911 bust was the talk of the town. I stood by my grill, spatula in hand. My blood surged like a live wire. Faces turned. Clara's eyes widened. "You that burger guy?" Jamal grinned. "Knew you had heat." Karen's HOA cronies, parked nearby, froze. Ted's coffee hit the dirt. Barb's yapper choked mid-yap. Karen lounged by her gate, latte in hand. Her smirk faded. She hadn't known. She hadn't dreamed the guy she'd framed was about to turn her call into a spectacle. I paced my yard. Fina stuck. Karen's hazard email stung like a frayed cord. Her complaints were fraud. No HOA could ban peace. Laws shielded my backyard. Then Rosa dropped a bomb. But rider gone. Town saved. She framed me as a menace to proper clean town cred. Clean? My gut roared. Engineers don't flinch. We surge. I scoured records. Karen's bylaws, pinned solo, had no votes. Fraud, bold as her perm. I dug deeper. Emma pulled HOA files. $250,000 in fines. No receipts, funneled to Karen's cousin's consulting scam. My watch was bulletproof, untouchable. Then the twist. Saturday dusk. My yard lit up. Chairs, signs, neighbors galore. Our truth watch kicked off. Grill free. Stop the lies. I share my permits, past burgers. 100 showed up, then 300, then 1,000. Comments flew. This is right. Karen's crooked. A news van rolled in. Karen flipped. Her ex-post whined about a riot mob. Mob? I'd wired her trap. My cameras hummed. Her lies were caught. Karen's meeting loomed. Her stage to spin lies. I rolled in, footage ready. My sign was lit. Truth sizzles, justice stays. She'd lose it, clueless, expecting cheers. I stacked watch stats. Emma's suit. False reporting, fraud, conspiracy. Clara's tip came through. Ted's text read, 911 locked, boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen's ex-post crowed. Willow Creek's pure. Pure? She framed my heart. I was the truth. This wasn't a fight. It was a bust, and her block was about to blaze. Willow Creek's HOA hall was a battlefield. Chairs were stuffed. 6,000 neighbors were packed in. The air crackled like a storm about to burst. Karen stormed to the podium. Her perm was a fortress. She gloated like she'd crushed her foes. We're saving Willow Creek, she crowed. My fines were her trophy. A slide slammed my backyard as a danger zone. Standards, she preached. Standards? She'd framed my soul. Neighbors stirred. Clara's fists balled. Rose's eyes burned. Jamal leaned forward, jaw set. Karen's smirk was steel. She thought she'd own the town. She spun lies. My grilling was a riot. A blight tanking safety. Half nodded, conned. Truth sizzles, justice stays. My voice was low, like a sizzle rising. Karen, got a 911 call to explain? She froze. Her latte splashed. She expected cheers. Rosa said, bird or lies? I hit the projector. The screen lit up with my yard. 5,000 neighbors, signs high, chanting for justice. Footage rolled. Karen's fines, no vote. Her smirk as she slapped penalties. Then my proof. Hidden cameras caught Ted staging a brawl. Beer cans, loud music near my fence. 911 logs flashed. Karen's call, claiming violence. My grill stood quiet, burgers cold. The crowd roared. Jamal bellowed. Liar. Karen's face drained. It's fake. I clicked. Linda's USB showed Karen's email. Call 911, no debate. Clara's clip played. Karen's ex-post. Rioter crushed town's mind. Ted's text to Barb. Call set, pay up. Neighbors surged. Clara screamed. Crook. My footage hit local news, then CBS. Phones flashed like a wildfire. I faced Karen, sign raised. You framed me with 911. False reporting, fraud, conspiracy. I tossed him his suit. $1 million damages, illegal fines. My yard was clean. Case 2025, WC 110, you're done. She choked. Values. Cops rolled in. My call from Dawn. Sheriff Klein stepped up. Cuffs gleamed. Karen, you're under arrest. Click. Cuffs snapped on her. Ted, Barb. They were dragged through jeers. Karen wailed. You can't. We did. The hall erupted. Cheers, fists high. Jamal Ugidroza. Clara's laugh was wild. Linda yelled. HOA's done. The vote was unanimous. Bylaws were torched. Karen's crown was ash. Our watch was the flame. Rose's clip hit 100 million views. Neighbors chanted, justice. I stood by my sign. My wife's heart was alive in their roar. Willow Creek wasn't hers. It was ours. Truth was the brightest sizzle. Karen's cuffs didn't just clip her ego. They scorched her empire. Willow Creek roared. Neighbors spilled into the streets. They hugged, laughed. Clara tossed buns like confetti. Deputies hauled Ted out. His strut was crushed. Karen sobbed. It's a setup. Setup? Her call told the truth. The DA piled on. Level 1 false reporting, fraud, conspiracy. Charges stacked like bricks. My suit gutted her HOA. $1.2 million in fines. No votes, pure scam. Money funneled to her cousin's consulting racket. No receipts. Karen's lackey flipped. He named 100 scams. Grills, sheds, all fine. All tied to her sister-in-law's Creek Realty. Clara's fence, hidden 22, wasn't unsafe. Barb's text bragged. Paid off. Rose's roses. Fine last spring. Were the same game. 100 neighbors spoke. X exploded. Hashtag Creek Justice spiked to 100 million posts. Tales spread from California to Maine. The council froze her accounts. $100 million was seized. Her backyard was raided, revealing staged props. Her realty was a front for scams. Karen faced 80 years. Her plea died when Barb spilled for $1 million in bribes. Karen's name was on each. Willow Creek didn't gawk. ABC ran Grill's truth. We cooked, laughed, moved on. The HOA collapsed. The board bailed. Bylaws burned. Neighbors raided the office. They unearthed $90 million in fines. Karen's piggy bank for luxury trips, funded by Clara's birdbath, Rose's tulips. Leela to vote. New council, no fines, just trust. Karen's standards? Smashed. Our watch shone. Clara clapped my shoulder. Your wife would be proud. Proud? I felt her, urging me to grill on. My backyard glowed again. Scout napped by the fire pit. I added a bench for her memory. Neighbors chipped in. The pain lingered, but their cheers healed us all. Willow Creek didn't just heal. It sizzled. Our community watch now 100 strong, meets in my yard every weekend. We grill, share stories, no fines, all pride. Neighbors pitch in, Clara brings burgers. Rosa crafts signs. Jamal builds tables. Hank adds grit. It's not a yard. It's us unbowed. The watch is a beacon. Folks join from across town. Their smiles warm my soul. Karen? She's a ghost. Her curtains stay shut. I catch her peeking at our flames. My yard hosts joyful nights. Kids flip patties. Strangers bring beer. Iston at dusk. Scout's tail thumps. My wife's love burns bright, fiercer than ash. Justice isn't loud. It's a sizzle, a town that stands firm. Got an HOA horror story? A Karen who tried to frame your piece? Drop it in the comments. Share your wildest clash where you're watching from. I read every one. Hungry for your fire. Did this truth light you up? Smash that like. It's wiring justice to the grid. Share with your crew, neighbors, even the guy with the loud truck. New here? Subscribe. Hit the bell. We're chasing more wins, laughs, and grit. I want you in the crew. Thanks for standing with me in Willow Creek. Keep shining, fighting, crushing nonsense. Catch you next. Stay tough. Stay true.